What's up, all my Ewoks, Tribbles, Droids, and what case, it's Anna, also known as Star Wars Girl, and in today's video I'm going to be doing a review of Cassian Andor episode 12, the season finale. But before I get into the review, guys, my channel is Hardcore Shadow Band here on YouTube, so every single like, share, comment really helps out my channel, fighting the pesky YouTube algorithm. It's all about that engagement, and I would really appreciate it. And now that that's out of the way, let's get on to the review. All right, guys, now as always, I kind of like to have visual aids up while I talk. Also, it is freaking freezing in here, so I'm going to put my little beanie on. I got my little heater, and I am ready to talk about this. Now, if you guys have been following my channel and my content and have been watching my Andor videos, you guys probably know I'm not the biggest fan of it, so I want to be upfront about that right in the beginning. If you guys are new here, I have found this show to be not the worst thing that Disney has put out as far as Star Wars content, but I think that at least my impression of it was that this was supposed to be a movie, and obviously when Bob Iger came out with the statement about Star Wars fatigue after the failure of Solo, like Solo, a Star Wars story, lost money. So they decided to not make movies anymore and not make Star Wars movies anymore and just TV shows because of how popular The Mandalorian was. So based on the pacing and everything that happens, and now I can say this definitively because the entire series is out, this 100% was supposed to be a movie. And they stretched it out over 12 episodes, and you can really tell just because there's so much that happens in this show that it's just like they drag on scenes and conversations that could have happened. I mean, heck, the first the first like 5 episodes would have been the first 30 to 45 minutes of this movie, and I think this was supposed to be like a 2 to 2.5 hour movie, and it got stretched, and you can really feel that. And honestly, now that the entire season is out, there's plenty of very talented people here on YouTube that could probably take the entire season and edit it down to 2.5 hours, and it'd probably be, it's not my kind of thing, but it could be decently entertaining, especially if you get one of those really talented editors. I personally can't stand editing, so I really respect people that are good at that, and I already have a feeling that some people are going to do it, and it'll probably be much more entertaining than the show that we got. Now, like I said, it's not the worst show, but it's definitely not the best show, and I think a lot of people that have been getting, shit on by Disney for so long and told like, hey, this thing that we're presenting to you that's supposed to be Star Wars and is actually dog shit, and they're force feeding you dog shit, and then you get something like Dirt, and it's like you went from dog shit to Dirt, and it's like, oh my gosh, this is so much better, this is the best thing ever. So there's people out there that I think it's kind of that Stockholm syndrome thing, that because it's not the worst thing on the face of the planet, that they're just overpraising this and not really acknowledging any of its flaws. Now that is out of the way, let's get on to this episode. And oh, by the way, there's going to be a lot of spoilers, so just FYI. So the whole big thing is that Cassian's adopted mother she died, and they're going to have her funeral on Ferrix, the planet that they were living on. And the whole part of the funeral thing is that they basically put your ashes into like bricks, and then you become part of the city. So that's the whole thing. And they needed to get permission from the Imperial people to do this, and they never usually do, but they're going to, and it's all a ploy to catch Andor and to trap Andor because they know that he will be tempted to go there, to go see his mother's funeral. It's kind of like Robin Hood when they tempt Robin with the tournament, the archery tournament, because Robin Hood's like the best archer in the land, especially in Nottingham. So they trick Robin Hood into coming out and competing in this archery tournament. That's basically what they did here. They used bait to lure out Andor, and then this is my thing. This is the Star Wars universe. There's no hollow security of any kind. Like, they know that he's going to show up, so why wouldn't you have... I mean, this is just with our technology today. There's cameras everywhere, and you're telling me the Imperials, the Empire, don't have all of this security footage or security holograms of, you know, with freaking AI that's gonna hunt down and like face match Andor. Like, you gotta be fucking shitting me, right? And before you argue, like, oh my god, Anna, they've never shown any AI in Star Wars. I'm like, okay, how do you think that the computers would pick out Anakin and Palpatine in the Jedi Temple? They would have face recognition of some kind that would hone in on Anakin and Palpatine amongst all of the clones and all of the other, you know, bad guys that came in and helped and stormed and, you know, all of the dead Jedi around. There's definitely AI, so don't even give me that shit. You tell me that the computers on the ships don't have it, that the droids don't have it. Like, come on, give me a break. So before I see people screaming about that in the chat, use your fucking head. Use common fucking sense and put, you know, 1 + 1 = 2. Okay, so now that's out of the way. That's stupid. And of course, Andor shows up. Everyone is at the freaking funeral except Mon Mothma. Because Mon Mothma is, she's got a little itty bitty, like 2 scenes in this entire episode, which is the entire time, even though Stellan Skarsgård got the freaking money from the whole heist that was like the first half of this entire show. Mon Mothma needs like 400,000 credits and she needs to move money around because the Empire is watching her. She has to set up some shady deal with some dude, and he's like, oh, but we have to have our teenagers betrothed to one another. And because of all the money and everything, she knows that the Empire is watching her. She has a conversation with her husband in the back of their car, and they tell the dude that she knows is a spy to like shush it. She's like, we want privacy. So he puts up the privacy shield and he can actually hear everything that she's saying. And so she basically does this whole setup, which is her husband is gambling again. And so when he goes and reports it to the Imperials, they're like, oh, that's why they're doing all this shady banking shit, is because her husband is getting into gambling problems and we need to investigate that, even though he's not. And she just found a way to get through that. And it's like, again, Coruscant, the place that would be full of security, you know, hollows, and like, really? Like, give me a fucking break. They would have been able to tell especially since they're watching her and everything that she does. They're watching him and her daughter and everything that they do. You're telling me they didn't find him? Oh, there's random time where he's not accounted for, that he's out at, you know, Canto Bight, or not Canto Bight, that he's out on Coruscant gambling. Oh yeah, and they threw in Canto Bight. And then the end scene is there's no dialogue. It's just her and her husband and their daughter all dressed up, and then they're introducing the daughter to the kid that they're going to betroth her to. And it's like, oh, yay, great. That was fun. So that's what she did in this episode. The rest, everyone here was at a little powwow funeral session. Oh, this dude whose name I can never freaking remember, the dude from Rogue One that they cut all of his scenes out, even though he was the most interesting part of the trailer, like, because he was like Jin's father figure. They basically, earlier in an episode, they set it up to where the Empire accidentally killed one of his men, but then they made it look like he just died in the ship, and then they set a trap for him. And so they say in just a random line that him and all of his men got killed, which we know is not true because he's in Rogue One. So it's like, all right. So this chick, who this chick is in love with, and she's like, she cares more about the mission, and this whole chick is being butthurt because this chick cares more about the mission than her, even though she straight up told her that from the beginning, and she has to reiterate that every fucking time that there's drama between them. So she has been watching. She's like, they're all in the hotel, and it's like, okay, let me be broody the rest of the episode. This dude is obsessed with Andor. He also has been stalking blonde Imperial chick. He shows up, and his big thing is that he saves her. So of course the funeral, it then turns into a all-out shit show because they show the mom's like message. I guess she recorded some kind of holo message, and she starts talking to everyone. She's like, F the Empire, which basically leads to an all-out fight and an all-out riot. And they had the Imperials set up like with like the police guards, and they made it seem like go back during all the riots in like Portland and stuff. And it's like, oh yay, that's what it is. But and then they have like one of the kids just pulls out a bomb, And to be fair, this kid, his dad was tortured and killed. So this kid like pulls out a bomb that he just casually made in his shop. And then he throws it at the Imperials and it sets off all of their grenades. And then the entire set is covered with smoke. And I was like, oh, that's great. Great job, Disney. Way to cut corners and just make everything smoky. So that way you don't have to have more special effects and everything can be hidden in smoke. I'm sure that was a fun day on set, or probably a week on set, where you just constantly have smoke machines going. So that's why I picked this picture, because I thought it was kind of funny and ironic, because there's a bunch of freaking smoke and I was like, oh, look at foreshadowing the finale. It's all smoke. So everyone's running around in smoke. And of course, because she's an Imperial, like the mob is like after her. This dude saves her and like pulls her into a closet, and they're like heavy breathing, and you can just tell that like he wants to kiss her, but he's looking at her all creepy. Like he's literally been stalking her. I mean, he's been stalking Andor, but he's been stalking her, and she's like, oh, I guess I should say thank you. And it's like, oh my God, everyone is so incompetent. And Andor saves Bix, this chick here that was in that one Wizard of Oz show that like nobody knew about, that failed, that my best friend made me watch because she's obsessed with Wizard of Oz. It was okay. That show was actually like more entertaining than Andor. But so this chick Bix, he comes and saves her from the hotel, and she's like, I'm all fucked up and I'm all tortured and I can't go with you because they'll just come back and they'll get angry. So he saves her. All of his friends get out to the shipyard, get on a ship, and he leaves them with it. He says bye to the droid, and he's like, I'll find you guys. I'll find you guys. So he leaves. Stellan Skarsgård, who showed up to kill him, and these chicks were both supposed to kill him. Like, everyone needs to kill Andor. And this is the big climactic moment of the show, guys. Even though we know that he survives because he's in Rogue One, he shows up in Stellan Skarsgård's ship, and Stellan Skarsgård turns around, and Andor's like, you came here to kill me. And he's like, well, yeah, basically. And then he's like, all right, I'll make it easy for you. Go ahead and kill me. And then the screen goes black and it goes to credits. And that's the season finale of Andor. And I personally, not to toot my own horn, but I think my description was a little bit more exciting. I think I added a little bit more pizzazz to it than, or I guess a little bit more enthusiasm than the actual show. But I will say the end credits scene, which was about 5 seconds long, after all of the credits, it's literally just a shot, and it's zoomed in of droids building things, and then it slowly zooms out, and it's the Death Star over the moon of Endor with all the Ewoks. You don't see any of the Ewoks, but we all know where it is. And so it just zooms out, and it shows the Death Star, and the Death Star is all complete, but they're building the little crevice in the Death Star where, you know, it shoots out of, so the weapon of the Death Star, basically. And then it like zooms out from the Death Star, and it like does this really cool like effect. I don't have like anything round around me, or else I would, I guess we'll just pretend that my not round glasses case is the Death Star. So like the camera's right here, and then it pans like down, and you could see like all the parts aligned, like it's kind of like an eclipse thing. But that part was cool. I was like, this is the most exciting part of the entire show. And some of you in the comments are gonna say you're over exaggerating. I'm really not. I'm really not. I actually, you know, had a response. So I was like, oh my God, it's the Death Star. And I got excited, and it got me in the fifis because I know it's closest to original trilogy. And yeah, it was cool, like seeing the droids building it and then like zooming out. Those were some pretty shots. So in my opinion, that was the best part of the entire series. And yeah, special effects with no actors and no dialogue and just cinematic shots of the Death Star. Sorry, I like Star Wars and I like the original trilogy, and this show didn't do it for me. Now, it's completely fine if you enjoyed it. If you liked it, I'm happy for you that you were able to get entertainment from this. I definitely did not. And this is not for me. It wasn't made for me, and it didn't really appeal to me. And like I said, this wasn't the worst thing that Disney has put out, but it was very obvious that this was supposed to be a movie that got stretched out into 12 episodes. And I think that this movie, or this show, is in desperate need of a good editor that could edit it down into a movie. And Disney might be able to put something like that out, and I don't know, I would say like hopefully be successful, but I don't even freaking know about at this point. Like after watching that, I don't know if I would want to watch a 2.5 hour movie of it. Most likely not. But yeah, so that's my feelings and my 2 cents on this entire show. Would not recommend. And I honestly wish I could get that 12 hours of my life back, except for the 5 seconds of the cinematic shots of the Death Star. So yeah, everyone, let me know what you think about all of this down below in the comment section. If you guys liked my video, please smash the like button. If you didn't, that's okay too. Thank you so much for watching this far through. And if you guys haven't already, maybe take a minute, smash the subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. Make sure that that bell is set to all. That way you actually get notifications when I post videos and live streams. And until next time, I hope you guys all have a great rest of your day, morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are in the world, and may the force be with you, because we are really, really, really going to need it. Bye, everyone. What's up, everyone, and thank you so much again for watching my channel and my content. And if you would like to support me further, because I am not sponsored in any way, shape, or form, as much as I want Mio to get behind me and sponsor me, because I love Mio, I actually created something. I created a cosplay calendar of some of your favorite video game characters, and this is the second cosplay calendar I have done. Everyone really liked the first one, and so, you know, I really am grateful for everyone that's come out and support this one as well. It means the world to me. We already broke the total from last year's entire campaign in the first 30 days of this campaign. So thank you once again, everyone, so much for your support. And if you guys are new here and you guys don't know me, well, then this is a really good way to, you know, get to know me and back my calendar and support my channel. There's a lot of really popular characters that were, you know, requested for the first calendar, like Samus. So I started off with her. And unlike Hollywood, as I try to give you guys what you want, I try to give fans and nerds and, you know, all of us that have been told F you by Hollywood to give, you know, you guys what you want and what, you know, I want, which is staying true to characters and trying to, you know, do the best version of them that I possibly can. So as you guys can see here, this is my Jill Valentine. I got Jade from Mortal Kombat. I got the one and only Lara Croft, my girl Lara. Then I have Miranda from Mass Effect. Now I'm still adding images of these characters. There are going to be 12 different ones. And if you guys are interested in, you know, supporting an independent content creator like myself, this is the way to do it. I, you know, do the photos, I, you know, do the cosplay, I ship everything out myself. So this is a 100% my own project. So if you guys, again, want to support me and my channel and keep everything rolling, please consider backing my cosplay calendar. I would really appreciate it. The links are down in the description below. So please check that out if you guys haven't already. And if this isn't something for you, then maybe take a second and, you know, share it to somebody who this might be, you know, something they'd be interested in. Once again, everyone, thank you so much and have a great rest of your day.
Also, guys, I have a Twitch channel where I play video games like Elden Ring and KOTOR, as well as an Instagram where I post photos from my recent cosplay escapades. If you guys aren't following me on either of those, go do so now. The link is in the description of this video. And just in case if you guys are interested in my art, I have an art Instagram as well where I post all of the time-lapse videos from my recent project, the Eye project, as well as other projects that I've worked on if you scroll down further. And if you're interested in purchasing some prints of my art or stickers or bookmarks and stuff like that, any kind of merchandise that I make based on the stuff that I paint, you guys can go over to my Etsy. It's the Art of Anna TSWG. Everything, again, that I've showed you will be linked down below in the description of this video. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.